So, welcome to this channel. Once again from the mountains. Yes, Sophistic Mystic broadcasting to you. And what can we say? Right, the topic today is what? WTH are talismans. What are they? Nummerological squares. Yes, I don't know. What is this? All of that. Yeah. What is this? This is interesting. Because this channel is all about this. If you're new here. Okay, because it's interesting. I made the videos and I never made a video to explain this. So here we go. So what is a talisman? What is a talisman? So basically we have to make the first step. First step is the realization that our words have power. Yes? In English, spelling. Spell, yes, to spell. This is the fundamental realization. As all the universe is made from frequencies, yes, frequencies, inside, outside. Also, here this vocal cords and our speech has a certain energy, yes? Maybe even the highest. At least, maybe in the universe, we don't know. In the created space. At least, yeah, anyhow, because also this whole technology that we do, one of our masters says, yes, if a human can build a plane, this means that within the human there is the capacity to fly. Yes, interesting point, right? So everything that we do outside is okay, showing what is actually inside also, yes? So frequency, things, manipulation and things. Interesting realization, right? Also for me, wow. Thank you. Yes. This means that all the technology or what we are thinking of or dreaming of, pyramids, electromagnetic fields, this is within us. Frequencies and things like that. Of course, these are good helps. No question, right? But in the end, it's within us. This is the first realization, yes. So my sound, my speech has an impact and will come back as an echo, right? This is the first. Then, of course, in our tradition is a prayer, and how to make prayers is, of course, a whole other topic, right? It's not from the perspective of... It's another topic. But yes, a prayer also, I mean, believe it or not, but people are praying to change their lives. Right? Or not? Yes. So, this life and the next, yes. So this is the next step, right? The prayers, because in this tradition, all of it works as prayers, basically. Then we can say there are fine things, but let's stick with that term, yes. So this is the next step, prayer. And then to write it, to write a prayer, like to encode it, yes. Also, this is, of course, the next step, yes. Now I have something, I have hand, and I have a pen, I have a paper, and I can write stuff, yes. So this is my prayer already manifested. My words already manifested. Like journaling, the same thing. We have to take care what we write, yes. Of course, there are certain methods to do it and to let go and things like that, but should be done with care. And I mean, in the end, we are all in the learning process, right? So, okay, now we have to say also one thing about the speech, the words, and the languages also that are being used, because affirmation is something like that, yes. Lately, I've been listening to a podcast, and there was someone, he said, oh yes, and he was a little bit describing his life, and he was, yeah, I was like this in this religious group, then, yeah, I left, and I tried affirmations for, I don't know, 5 years or 10 years, I forgot, but something like that. And now I'm doing this and this, because all the other things didn't work. Yes, maybe he was traumatized somehow in this religious group, which happens often, which is sad. And then affirmations. But now he's doing very good in business, right? So I was like one of the conclusions is, okay, this is the main question here. Did it work? Or did it work? Didn't it work or did it? Because you can say, of course you can say, okay, I stopped the affirmations, I was doing them 10 years, now I stopped and I'm doing something else. Or is this whole thing because of the affirmations? Yes, this is of course something to reflect upon for everyone. I'm just putting it out here, right? So of course there are so many people using these techniques that there seems to be something to it, right? And okay, some stop, but many keep it, yes. And this is one of the wisdoms and realizations. And this is why also one of the things to, we can say, manifest or ask for is not only abundance and health and things. Abundance, yes, and health, but also, of course, wisdom to understand these things, yes. Because maybe if one continues, one will just get more and more out of it, right? Of course, everything in our life is a spiritual development. But let's get back to the topic. It was not off topic, but a little bit going into the direction. So, affirmations, written affirmations. There is even an Oxford study that if people write an affirmation, put it below the pillow, it changes the people. So already that doesn't matter which language or stuff you use, it is also a talisman, right? Because it's about, in the end, it boils down to the same thing, which is consciousness. But this for another time. So, don't give up if you are doing these things. Or just try and start. Yes, what else? So this is the next level, to write it, yes. And as I said, it is affirmations and these things have been scientifically proven. And prayers and repetitive prayers are like affirmations, yes. And they are easy and they are going deep into your mind. They are not only, we can say, we can do it in many, if you make a dhikr, yes. It goes to your mind. It's changing the frequency on an energetic level, but also on a physical level. It's changing the brain connections, yes, into a pathway you want to go, right? And of course, then it's depending on which dhikr, mantra, affirmation you choose, yes. And yeah, this is another whole topic, right? So, this is the affirmation. It's bringing you into the state. One reality is it brings you into the state where you can get the wanted result, yes, because this is whole another ball game. We are blocked and stuff like that. At the other side, of course, it is, as everything is frequency, going the frequency out and then in one point also coming back, right? So this is a prayer now. Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, for example. This is a verse, a mantra from the Quran. In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the gracious. It's a very traditional one. So why using these? Yes. Of course, we can say that if you look into it, like English language is crazy. Like you can see many things: spelling, abundance, to be abandoned. Like this is crazy. If you look into these, they are like this, many things. At the same time, so there are less energetic or less languages with a lower frequency, and there are languages with a higher frequency, yes. And one of the two ones that are very common, this is Sanskrit and Arabic. Yes, they are very potent, and especially the old scriptures, they themselves, the language itself has an energy to it, but then there is also the question how long it has been used, or how often, and by whom, right? So imagine there is a mantra used for hundreds of years, thousands of years. Of course, this repetition charges this verse on its own, right? Itself, right? So this is why we choose Arabic, because we believe it, of course, to be one of the stronger languages, energetical languages. For manifestation and for the connection to the divine, yes. This is one of the things, yes. So, we had this prayer, or speech, prayer, written, like calligraphy or whatever, yes. And now, written calligraphy is also a talisman. We can also say that stones, right? Stones, they also have a frequency. This is why we use them, right? And also inscribing stuff on stones. Like then we can go into the alchemy, what's going on there, right? But now we just stick to this. So a written thing, something where there is intention of a human being. This is why it's so important that it's handwritten, not printed or something. Our master said the printed ones, they have no power. Yes. Yes. So then we come to the realm of numbers. No. Yes, so, yes. We talked about the Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. And we said, yes, this is because it's a charged language. And now we come to the realm of numbers. Believe it or not, because as you can see, there are the squares and the numbers. And what are they, right? So this you have also, I think, in Hebrew. In Hebrew, and in Arabic. I'm sorry, I cannot find the paper I wanted to show you. Yes, here. So every letter is connected to a number. Aleph is 1, Ba is 2. I mean, in Roman alphabet they say it's all as well, but yeah. Anyhow, so you can encode all the names, and usually we use Allah's names, right? So as I showed this already, I will also make a little bit of a thing about Malik al-Mulk, because this is Malik al-Mulk. This is the square for Malik al-Mulk. So Malik al-Mulk goes down to 212, right? So if you calculate all the letters together, it comes to 212. And this is like a crazy science. If you delve into this, you will see so many synchronicities. And one of the reasons why we do is that yes, Allah and the divine can understand everything, right? But the thing about the angelic beings, entities which are in a way somehow, we can say, in between, in a certain point, us and the divine essence, they don't really understand language. Also, they cannot, because they don't need food, they are just like very fine. They are just like, if a human asks, oh, I need food, they are like, for what do you need food? Like, they don't correlate with the humans. Anyhow, they do their duty as good as possible. But one of the things is it's said that they don't really understand the language, right? More so, they understand your emotions and numbers. So this is why, because we can say, oh, I want this and that. But so the angel comes and sees, wait a minute, he's asking for this, but his emotional body is saying something else, right? So these are things, fine-tuning things if we delve deeper into this knowledge. Anyhow, this is why one of the reasons we use numbers. Also the astrology, the planets' movement and things like that, all of these things come together. As I said, it starts with the realization that we as a human have a certain power. وَلَقَدْ كَرَمْنَا بَنِي آدَمَ, and we have honored human being. Yes, it's said in the Quran. Or the tribes of Bani Adam. Yes. Anyhow, so this is one of the realizations we are doing, that if we write it or recite it, depending on the things, also these are then fine-tunings. I think this is also nearly enough, right? Because we covered it all. It has just the astrology part also in there. So, of course, if we write this talisman in a certain astrological point, for example, Jupiter is connected to abundance, Sun is also in abundance. So we write it on Jupiter Day, for example. This has much more power. This is then the fine-tuning, as you see, yes, speech, prayer, writing, numbers. It all just tries to make the intention more focused and more powerful. This is the whole thing that it is about, yes. And then taking into consideration astrological timings. It's one of the next steps. Taking into consideration materials, what you write with, good smelling materials, what you write it on, maybe some metal which is connected to the certain planet. But this is too much for the video. So if you're interested in this, you can take the courses or just get one of the talismans, whatever. Yes, and then the squares, why it is in a square. So this is a 4x4, and 52 plus 55 plus 60 plus 45 adds up to 212, and all the rows have to add up to the 212. This is one of the properties of the magical squares. This is a technique passed down from master to master to master, And interesting point here, 212 is also connected to Ya Rabbi. Yes, oh my Lord. Rabbi is also 212. So when you write this, you have Malik al-Mulk and Rabbi for those who are watching this channel on a continuous basis. This is something. But for the other ones who just are here for the explanations, what are talismans, I hope this was good enough. I hope I didn't forget anything. There are many more things. This is just the start, actually. But yeah, I think to understand this, if you have now such an inscribed talisman with you, it will program your subconscious, program your wires in the brain, at the same time put the things out to let them come back. Yes, and that you are in a position to also be able to receive them. This is the thing. It's like the mind hack. And we can also say in the spiritual, for the spiritual realities, yes, there is one thing, someone can become an amil of something, of a verse, for example, if he or she recites it 100,000 times, 125,000 times. This means the body will become this energy of this mantra, of this dhikr, yes. At the same time, Allah will create a muwakil, an angelic being from this, which will do these things in the outer realm and also inner realm, and also recite the verse on a continuous basis for this person. So, of course, if one has a square like that, the expectation is that these angelic beings, which are connected to these realities, they come and visit and look and maybe arrange some things, yes. So now I hope I gave you a good explanation from frequency, from the perspective of frequency and physicality, yes, how it works, also psychologically, and spiritually, religiously, whatever, esoterically, yes, these are the on all those levels there is a reality to that. So, this is the explanation. Order today. Keep the beats moving. Like, subscribe, share. Salams.